Metric Motorcycle Madness presents Vulcan 800 Oil and Filter Change.
Hey guys, Metric Motorcycle Madness. We're on the Vulcan 800 today. We're doing an oil change. It's gonna be a quick video because I'm pissed off. It's a bad fucking day. Stupid highway bars caught in the door and knocked the fucking shadow over and broke the turn signal off and fucked the paint. Luckily, I don't think it hurt anything else. So, I guess I'll be making a rear directional replacement video for that too. Anyways, so since this bike was purchased, we're going to be replacing all the fluids as we have no idea what it's like. So right up in here, right there, we've warmed the bike up. Got a 17 mil, I think, socket. I'm going to put this on a breaker bar. If you don't have a breaker bar, I don't know where the hell mine is. Just grab a straight socket, throw it in a pipe of some kind to get some leverage. Try to use a 6 tooth instead of 12 tooth. And righty tighty, lefty loosey. And do that and drain the oil from there. Okay, so oil is coming out of here. At least we hope it is. Alright, here comes the oil. I'll grab some paper towels and clean this up here. So it's still draining. You can see we're about close to the 2 quart mark coming up. Of course, we still have the filter and the filter screen as well to take out. So there will be some more oil with that. Looks like we had maybe a little bit of oil. It wasn't left in. So we've got a new filter sitting over there. I've got more oil inside, of course. I'll have to go look up the oil amount for this. But on the opposite side, there is a window for us to look at for the level. So next thing we're going to do after this drains all the way is go to the front. And in the front, we have the filter right here. There. So you can see there's a bunch of rust sitting on the starter here. I'm going to try to get like a plastic bag over the starter or something as that drains. Most people like to just open that up, and I don't want to do that because I'm going to get oil right over all that starter connection right there, and I don't know, that seems to have aided in it rusting for whatever reason. So I'm going to protect that, and then we'll pull the filter off. Okay, so might need a filter wrench. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. This one was ripping on here pretty good. I put a rubber glove over the other part of the starter. At least protect the connection there. Okay, we're just draining this out now. So while I'm here, I'm going to clean up on the port around it and the threads. I'm going to clean up afterwards on the starter. And I removed that, and I got some shit on there. And then after that, we're going to add onto the seal of the new one some fresh oil, and put a little bit of oil in the filter, and then put that down hand tight. You do not need a wrench for tightening that. Just make sure that the old seal is still on the old filter and that it's not sitting on the bike. Just coat the seal of the new filter. You have a Bike Master filter, which is not top of the line or anything, but it's sufficient. And then we're going to stick just a little tiny bit of oil on there. Just remember, it's going to go in like this. We don't want it to just leak right out the holes here. Okay, now with the new filter on, I'm going to take your cleaned up drain bolt. And I usually go a couple times before I'm going to replace the crush washer on this. This one's fine, as long as it's clean. We're going to put that back underneath and put it to torque spec. And I don't have the torque spec on that right now. I'll have to go look it up. I'll probably include it somewhere in here. So we're just going to slide our oil pan over to the left, and this works conveniently. The bike is tipped on the left side where the kickstand is. That way we can drain the rest of the oil. If you see down right there, that is the oil inspection cover. And if we clean that off a bit, looks like there's still just a little tad bit right in the corner there. So, move the pan over for a sec. Right up in here, there's, I believe, a 17 mil. Yep. And that will remove the, there should be the cap, a spring and washer, and then the filter screen lives inside of there, and you'll have to pull it out. And just clean that down with some shit, whatever you want to use, and then shove it back inside after all the oil comes out. That should be reusable. Not a bad idea. I would clean this out every time if I were you. Yeah, you get all that extra oil that's pooling over here, so. Alright, we're gonna do that. So after you have that, start unthreading this by hand. And drain all the oil out of this. And I'll show you what comes out. Okay, so how this comes out of here, at the very end, is this filter screen. And you can see there's some shit on here. We gotta clean this stuff out. So this faces the outside of the bike towards you. That's how you get your finger in there and pull it out. That butts up inside the bike. Then sitting up against that, you have this washer here. Then you have the spring, and then you have the threaded cap, as you can see. And basically how this works is this just seats up against that washer. Doesn't pass through there. So anyways, we're going to clean this up, and then all you have to do is make sure the oil is out of there, and put this back up in there, and then we're going to add our oil in. Take your wrench, go ahead and tighten this back down, take another swig of beer. So filter's in, drain plug is in, filter screen's back in. Time to take the old oil cap off. Get a big old flat dilly, and I might need to get a bigger dilly for this one. Keep in mind, with this bike, you're adding in this bike uses the same oil for the engine and the transmission, like most metric bikes, but this kind of looks like, you know, typical style you'd see on a Harley, kind of with a primary cover. So we're going to add our oil in through here, and we're going to start with about 2 quarts, and then check the level, and then start bringing the level up where we need it to be. If I remember correctly, I think we're going to use about close to 3 quarts for this, so we're going to grab a funnel and put that in, put 2 quarts in, then we'll get the bike level and check the oil. Looking for my funnel here. I'm sure there's plenty of ways of getting the bike level, however, I'm just going to lift this up a little bit on a bike jack and make sure it's nice and level. So we're going to go down here. We put 1 quart in so far. Go ahead and check the oil level on the window. And I can't even see in the window. That's not helpful. Okay, so I put about 2.5 quarts in, and actually I think it has come up just a little bit. Just taking a while for all the oil to run down where it needs to be. So I think what I'm going to do is drop this down again and start up the engine and cycle the oil and get all the air pockets out. And then see where it's at, and then add a little bit more, which is what I'm probably going to need to do. Good time now to check for some leaks. Make sure you got no leaks at all down here. Looking good on that end. Give it another minute here, and then we'll reset it and check the level. Okay, so I put in full 3 quarts. Or, well, close to that, I should say. And a little bit over on the oil level. So I think the 2.7, I think. liters it was. It evens out to like 2.86 quarts or something like that. So I think this is pretty level, and after most of the oil settled, so it's just above the halfway point where it's supposed to be be at the proper oil level. So that's alright. A little bit extra as long as you don't have too much above the high level. You don't want too much oil on the top end. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just going to tighten that old cap down and make sure to take it for a ride and check for any more leaks. And that's it.